All right. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to be going over Powernomics. We're going to go over Dr. Claude Anderson's Powernomics books in our reading session. We got about 8 chapters to do. Plus, we're going to be doing today only. We're going to be doing about the author. I'm going to let you know how I encountered Dr. Anderson, and I'll give you a brief synopsis of what we got going on here in the organization. So, my name is James, and we are the National Economic Political Aggregation of Black America. We focus on the issues of currently on the issues of Black children. One of our issues, very important, very close to our hearts, is that our children are falling further back. They were already far enough, but they're falling further back when it comes to reading. So it's an all hands on deck moment, and I hope that our community will be able to support with volunteers, with donations, support us. What we're doing is we have the Garveyite Scouts Brigade, which is like the traditional Boy Scouts, but in this case, is everything is co-ed, um, and we have 3 pillars. We have sports, we have wilderness survival training, and then we have urban survival training for the Black youth. Our urban survival training is not the urban survival training that you see on videos where you have, all of this trickery and stuff and with on craziness. What our survival training for the Black youth is that they have to increase their knowledge. So we will be increasing their knowledge based on different books that are written, and we'll be teaching. I guess to sum it up, it would be like a physics, civics type of stuff. We'll be helping them to understand their community, their local government, their local businesses, you know, um, how to buy black and things like that. So what we do is the Garveyite Scouts Brigade is so is a conduit to bring together uh, black children. Once they come in, the first thing that we do is we assign them a PAW, a G team, a G reader, and they're going to be known as G Scouts. So the Positive Affirmation Warrior, or PAW, is the head of the team. They're the ones that coordinate the activities, and they follow the direction of the organization leadership. The G team is filled with 2 to 4 G Scouts. Now, when that G reader, who is the volunteer, comes in, that G reader is going to read to the group ages 1 through 5, or ages 6 through 10, or it could be ages 11 through 20. And there are a lot of adults that are that old that have issues reading. So the best thing to do is to start out early. So that's why we have 1 through 5. So that G reader goes in and they sit down with the group every whatever designated days or times we agree upon. They sit down and they read to the group. Other times they are also assigned to read to specific children or G Scouts to make sure that they remain proficient in their reading. So it will be, if we start with that child in first grade, we're going all the way through high school with that child. If they stay within the program, we're going to stay with them. So it's called the buddy reading program. We're going to be buddying up with them, and we will be reading with them and making sure that they remain proficient. And then if they don't, we report everything to the parent, because the parent is the one that is the ultimate um, champion and is the captain in this whole thing. So that's what we do, and we hope that we get support from the community on that. So we're going to be going over Dr. Claude Anderson's book, and I'm going to read about the author. When I first encountered Dr. Claude Anderson's writings in his books, it was, I think, about 2012, and it it really was the feeling that I remember having was like, this is not complicated. This all this stuff should have been done, but we know the things that go on in our communities. So we know all the shenanigans and things that go on. I understand that. I'm very conscious. as most of us are. But still, at some point, there should be a remnant of something that some type of institution, some type of network that we can call our own. And we don't seem to have that really, not that I've seen. Um, so anyway, what Nepaba was created to do was to team up with, was to be that institution, be that network that can grab on to that child, that can buddy up with that child, and then stick with that child as long as that child wants to be stuck to. You stick with that child until they get to a place where you're like, okay, you got it. Stick with the parent, and buddy up with the parent and make sure our job will be early on to make sure that that child is proficient, that child knows their community, they understand the local government, they understand where to take a complaint within their local government, they understand, and we also have, if a scout stays with us until 18, 19, 20 years old, well, what we do is we have a program where we will approach that child and say, hey, would you like to run for political office and within the local government, depending on what they're doing in their life at that time. And if they don't mind running for and being the head of and being the face of the that run for that office, then we gather our resources together and we put it behind that child. We're not doing anything. We're not trying to do anything that is reinventing the wheel. Any group that you can point to is already doing this, and but our thing is that we will insist that that child or that adult, that young adult, is loyal to our community, to the black community. So that's the only stipulation. We'll put the resources behind them. We'll help in every way we can, and then we will. The first office that we are hoping that we will concentrate on is mayor of a local community. Um, which is once they get to that level and they're understanding the system, then if they want to go further, we're still behind them. We're going to stick with them as long as we can because we're a community and we're not supposed to, okay, once you're out of elementary school, once you're um, you know high school, we pass you on to someone else because now you can, you're an athlete and someone else wants to pick you up and use all the gifts that you were blessed with and leaves your community with a drain. So we're gonna go over this about the author real quick and